Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Olaf. I am very glad you are here today. Before we dive into the numbers, before we look at the charts and the graphs, I want to invite you to do something with me. I want you to join me in a little experiment of the imagination. If you are in a safe place, I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. If you are driving, please keep your eyes on the road, but let your mind drift with my voice. I want you to picture a typical Tuesday morning. You are on your daily commute to work. The sun is shining, the radio is playing your favorite song, and the traffic is moving slowly. You come to a gradual stop at a red light, and right there, directly in front of you, looming over the hood of your car, is a beast, a monster of a machine. It is a brand new, top-of-the-line pickup truck. It is jet black. The paint is so deep it looks like a mirror. It has chrome bumpers that sparkle in the sunlight. It is lifted high off the ground on suspension that looks like it belongs on a race car. The tires are massive, aggressive, the size of a dinner table. You look through the back window of this truck and you catch a glimpse of the interior. You see premium leather seats that look softer than your living room sofa. You see a dashboard that lights up like a spaceship, with a touchscreen the size of a television. You sit there in your car and you look at that truck, and then you look down at your own steering wheel. You look at your own dashboard, and almost instinctively, a thought pops into your head. It is a thought that almost every single one of us has had at some point. You think to yourself, wow, that guy must be doing really well. He must be rich. Maybe he owns a construction company. Maybe he is a high-level executive. Or maybe he just made a fortune in real estate. You feel a little pang of envy, a little bit of jealousy. You wonder, what does he know that I don't know? What secret has he discovered? But my friends, I am here today to be the bearer of some very different news. I am here to tell you the truth, and the truth is going to shatter that illusion completely. There is a very high probability, in fact, it is almost a statistical certainty, that the person driving that $80,000 truck is broke. He might be a regular office worker. He might be a nurse, a teacher, a middle manager, or a technician. He is likely someone who sits at his kitchen table and complains about the price of eggs. He worries about the electric bill. He stresses about saving for his children's college fund. And yet, despite all of that financial stress, every single month, like clockwork, he watches $1,200 leave his bank account. $1,200 every month, just for the privilege of sitting in that leather seat. So what is going on here? How is this possible? How are regular people with regular salaries driving vehicles that cost more than some people's entire houses? Are they financial wizards? Have they found a magic money tree? The answer is no. They have not found magic. They have found a trap. They are victims of a system designed to keep them poor while making them look rich. A system created by the automotive industry and the banking industry to turn the American middle class into permanent debt slaves.
In the next 30 minutes, we are going to take this system apart, piece by piece. We are going to expose the mechanics of the trap. We are going to look at the psychology, the math, and the devastating consequences. My goal is simple. I want to make sure that you, the person listening to this right now, never fall into this trap. To understand the madness of today, we first have to look back at the sanity of the past. Let's travel back in time for a moment. Let's go back 15 or 20 years. Think about how your parents or your grandparents bought cars. Back then, the rules of the game were very simple. They were crystal clear. You worked hard, you saved money, and when you needed a car, you bought what you could afford. If you had to take out a loan, it was a short loan, usually 36 months, maybe 48 months if you were really stretching it. That is 3 or 4 years. Why was it like that? Because everyone understood a basic law of economics. Cars are depreciating assets. Cars break. Cars get old. You need to pay off the car before it starts falling apart. The goal was never to have a car payment. The goal was to own the title, to hold that piece of paper in your hand that says, "This is mine. I owe nothing to anyone." But then, the world began to change. The price of cars started to climb, and then it started to run, and finally, it started to fly. Manufacturers began adding more and more to these vehicles. A truck used to be a simple tool. It had a metal bench seat, crank windows, and an AM radio. It was for work. Today, a truck is a luxury lounge on wheels. It has heated seats, cooled seats, massaging seats, panoramic sunroofs, and self-driving technology. And with all that luxury came a price tag to match. The prices went from $20,000 to $40,000 to $60,000. And now, we regularly see sticker prices over $90,000. But here is the problem. Here is the disconnect. While car prices were skyrocketing to the moon, your salary was staying on the ground. Wages have not tripled in the last 10 years. For most people, wages have barely kept up with inflation. So, the car industry faced a crisis. How do you sell a $70,000 truck to a guy making $50,000 a year? The math simply does not work. So, they changed the math. They invented the extended loan term. And this, my friends, is where the trap begins. The car dealership knows something about human psychology. They know that human beings are terrible at looking at the big picture. We are hyper-focused on the now. We are obsessed with one single number, the monthly payment. If you walk into a dealership today and they tell you that a truck costs $1,500 a month on a standard loan, you would laugh. You would walk out. You would say, "I can't afford that. That is my mortgage payment." But the dealer is smart. He smiles and says, "Don't worry, we can help you. We have a special financing program." And just like that, he stretches the loan. Instead of 3 years, he makes it 6 years, or 7 years, or even 8 years. 84 months, 96 months. Suddenly, that scary monthly payment drops. It goes from $1,500 down to $900. You look at the $900 and you think, okay, I can do that. If I stop eating out, if I cancel Netflix, if I budget carefully, I can squeeze $900 into my life. And you sign the paper. In that moment, you feel relief. You feel excitement. You drive away in your new truck feeling like a king. But you have just walked into a financial prison cell, and you have locked the door from the inside. By extending the loan to 7 or 8 years, you have done 2 terrible things to your financial future. First, you are paying a massive amount of interest. On a typical loan today, stretching it out that long means you are donating an extra $10,000, maybe $15,000 purely to the bank. That is money you could have used for your retirement. That is money you could have used for your children's education. Gone, vaporized. Second, and this is even worse, you are keeping the debt longer than the car stays new. By year 5 or year 6 of that loan, your truck will have scratches, it will have dents, it will need new tires, the check engine light might come on. But guess what? You still owe the bank $30,000. You are paying a new car price for an old car experience. You are chained to a depreciating asset. This leads us to the most dangerous concept in the world of car buying. It is called negative equity, or as we call it in the business, being underwater. We all know that cars lose value. You drive off the lot and poof, thousands of dollars in value vanish into thin air. A car loses value very fast in the first 3 years. But because you took out an 8-year loan, your payments are very small. You are barely paying off the principal of the loan. You are mostly paying interest. So imagine it's year 3. You are tired of your truck. You want something new. You go back to the dealer. The dealer looks at your truck and says, "Okay, Olaf, your truck is currently worth $30,000. But then they check your loan balance and they tell you, "But Olaf, you still owe the bank $40,000. You are negative $10,000. You are $10,000 underwater. You don't have that cash in your pocket to pay the difference." So the dealer smiles his predatory smile and says, "No problem, we can fix this. We'll just take that $10,000 of debt and we'll roll it into your next loan." So you buy a new truck, but now you are paying for the new truck plus the leftover debt from the old truck. You are paying for a ghost. You are paying for a vehicle you don't even own anymore. This is called the trade-in treadmill, and once you get on it, it is almost impossible to get off. You will be making car payments until the day you die. You become a permanent tenant in your own vehicle.
Now I want to pause here. I want to stop the lecture for a moment, because I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. I can feel it. I can hear the thoughts racing through your mind as you listen to my voice. You might be feeling a little bit defensive. You might be feeling a little bit attacked. You might be thinking, "Olaf, stop judging me. You don't know my life. You don't know how hard I work. I work 60 hours a week. I bust my back every single day. I deal with a stressful boss. I deal with difficult clients. I deserve something nice. I deserve to drive a vehicle that makes me feel safe. I deserve a vehicle that makes me feel respected." Or perhaps you are thinking, "Olaf, you don't understand cars. I need a truck. I need it for winter. I need it to tow my boat once a year. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity." And to you, I say this: I hear you, and I want you to know that I validate those feelings. I truly do. We live in a difficult world. We live in a society that judges us constantly by what we own. We are conditioned from the moment we are born to believe that our self-worth is tied to the brand on our clothes, the size of our house, and the badge on our car's grille. It is completely normal to want to feel successful. It is human nature to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Why work so hard if you can't enjoy it, right? I am not here to attack you. I am not here to make you feel stupid. I am not here to look down on you. I am here to be the friend that tells you the hard truth that the car salesman will never tell you. The salesman will tell you what you want to hear because he wants your commission. The bank will tell you what you want to hear because they want your interest. I am telling you this because I want to protect you. I want to protect you from a system that wants to eat your future retirement for breakfast. So please, I ask you to lower your defenses for just a few minutes. Let's look at this together, not with emotion, but with logic. Let's look at the why. Why do we do this? Why do we sign these contracts that destroy our wealth? The answer lies in identity. The marketing departments of Ford, Chevy, Toyota, and Ram are geniuses. They employ the smartest psychologists in the world. They don't sell you a machine. They don't sell you steel and rubber. They sell you an identity. Think about the last truck commercial you saw. What was happening in it? Was the truck stuck in traffic on the highway? No. Was the driver looking for a parking spot at the grocery store? No. You saw a rugged man. He was climbing a mountain. He was towing a massive trailer full of lumber. He looked free. He looked powerful. He looked capable. He was the master of his domain. The message is subtle, but it is powerful. The message is, if you buy this truck, you are this man. When you sign that paper, you aren't buying a transmission. You are buying that feeling. You are buying the feeling of being a tough guy. You are buying the feeling of being successful. Even if you work in an accounting firm and the only thing you ever haul is a bag of groceries and a laptop, that truck makes you feel like you could climb a mountain if you wanted to. It is a costume. It is a $60,000 suit of armor that we wear to protect our egos. This creates a form of automotive Stockholm syndrome. We fall in love with our captor. When someone like me tells you to sell the truck because it's destroying your finances, you get angry. You defend the truck. You say, but it's safe, but it's reliable. Deep down, it's not about safety. It's about status. We are terrified of looking poor. We would rather be broke in a Mercedes than rich in a Honda Civic. We have normalized financial insanity. To really understand the difference this makes in your life, let me tell you a story, a tale of two neighbors. Let's call them Mike and Dave. Mike is the guy we have been talking about. Mike drives a new brand Ford F-250 Super Duty. It's lifted, it has custom rims, it looks aggressive. When Mike pulls into his driveway, the ground shakes. Mike works as a middle-level manager. He makes a decent salary, maybe $75,000 a year. But Mike has a secret. He has zero savings. If his water heater breaks tomorrow, he has to put it on a credit card. He's stressed. He fights with his wife about money. He lies awake at night wondering how he will pay for his kids' college. But on Sunday, when he washes his truck in the driveway, he feels like a king. He looks rich. Now, let's look at Dave. Dave lives right next door. Dave drives a 2015 Toyota Camry. The paint is a little faded. There is a small dent on the rear bumper. The interior is cloth, not leather. When Dave pulls into his driveway, nobody notices. Nobody looks. You might even think Dave is struggling a bit. But here is Dave's secret. Dave bought that Camry with cash 6 years ago. Dave has not had a car payment since 2018. Instead of sending $900 a month to Ford Motor Credit, Dave sends $900 to his investment portfolio. Dave has a fully funded emergency fund. Dave is maxing out his retirement accounts. Dave sleeps like a baby. If he loses his job, he has 6 months of expenses in the bank. Mike looks rich, but he is poor. Dave looks poor, but he is becoming wealthy. Which one would you rather be? The answer seems obvious, yet millions of us choose to be Mike every single day because Mike is what we see on TV. Mike is what we see on Instagram. And it's not just about buying. There is another trap I need to warn you about before we get to the math. It's called leasing. The dealer will tell you, hey, why buy? Just lease. You can get a new car every 3 years and the payment is lower. This is the golden handcuffs of the car world. When you lease, you are renting. You are paying for the depreciation plus a profit for the dealer. You pay and pay and pay. And after 3 years, what do you have? Nothing. You own nothing. You have to give the car back, and then you have to lease another one. It is a subscription service for poverty. You are subscribing to a payment for the rest of your life. Never lease a car unless you can write it off as a business expense. For a regular person, it is financial suicide.
Okay, Olaf, enough stories. Let's get serious. Let's look at the real numbers. The numbers that nobody calculates. The numbers that make you sick to your stomach. Let's take a typical scenario. You buy a $55,000 truck. That is a very average price for a truck these days. You finance it for 7 years. Your monthly payment is around $800. But wait, that is not the real cost. That is just the entry fee. You need insurance. For a brand new $55,000 vehicle, full coverage is mandatory and expensive. Let's say that is conservatively $200 a month. Then there is gas. These trucks are heavy. They are not aerodynamic. They are thirsty. If you have a normal commute, you are easily spending $350 a month on fuel. Then there is maintenance. Tires for a truck cost 3 times as much as tires for a sedan. Oil changes are more expensive. Registration fees are higher. Let's average that to $150 a month. Let's add it all up. $800 for the loan, plus $200 for insurance, plus $350 for gas, plus $150 for maintenance. That is $1,500 per month. $1,500 every single month. That is $18,000 a year. That is more than a minimum wage worker makes in an entire year just to keep your car on the road. Now let's look at the total over the life of the loan. Over 7 years, that totals to roughly $126,000. You are going to spend $126,000. And at the end of those 7 years, what do you have? You have a beat-up truck with 100,000 miles on it that is worth maybe $15,000. You spent $126,000 to own an asset worth $15,000. That is not an investment. That is wealth destruction. That is setting your money on fire. And here's the most painful part, the opportunity cost. Imagine a different world. Imagine a world where you followed Dave's path. Imagine you bought a simple, reliable used car for $10,000. And imagine you took that difference, that extra $800 a month, and instead of giving it to the bank, you invested it. You put it in a simple S&P 500 index fund. If you did that for 7 years, assuming an average market return, you wouldn't have an old truck. You would have nearly $80,000 in your investment account. That is the difference. Path A, you have a rusty truck worth $15,000. Path B, you have a reliable car plus $80,000 in cash. That is a swing of almost $100,000 in net worth, just from one decision, just from choosing the car you actually need instead of the car you think you deserve. So, what happens next? Where do we go from here? We're looking at a future where car repossessions are rising. As the economy tightens, as inflation eats away our budgets, millions of people will find themselves trapped. They will be stuck in vehicles they cannot afford to sell and cannot afford to keep. But you don't have to be one of them. You can choose a different path. You can choose to be the anomaly.
I want to leave you with a rule, a simple guideline to keep you safe. It is called the 24-10 rule. If you absolutely must buy a car, follow this. Number 1, put at least 20% down. If you can't save 20% of the price in cash, you can't afford the car. This keeps you from going underwater. Number 2, finance it for no more than 4 years. That is 48 months, not 6 years, not 7 years. 4. If the payment is too high on a 4-year loan, the car is too expensive for you. Number 3, make sure the total cost of the car, including payment, insurance, and gas, is less than 10% of your gross monthly income. If you run the numbers and the truck doesn't fit into that box, I have some news for you. You cannot afford the truck. It is time to stop pretending. It is time to stop trying to impress strangers at traffic lights who don't even know your name. My friends, true wealth is not a shiny grill. True wealth is not leather seats. True wealth is freedom. True wealth is options. True wealth is sleeping soundly at night, knowing you owe nothing to anyone. True wealth is looking at your bank account and seeing a number that grows, not a number that shrinks. So, the next time you're on the highway and you see that monster truck roaring past you, don't be jealous. Don't feel small. Smile at them. Feel empathy for them, because you know the secret now. You know that they are likely driving a burden, a chain around their neck, and you, in your paid-off car, you are driving towards freedom.
Tough guy.
My name is Olaf. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay smart, drive safe, and keep your wallet closed.